As Chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Mr. Jordan from Ohio.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director, were you guessing or lying? The day after President Trump is shot, Secret Service spokesman Anthony Guglielmi said, quote, "The assertion that a member of the former president's security team requested additional security resources that the U.S. Secret Service or the Department of Homeland Security rebuffed is absolutely false." The next day, Secretary Mayorkas said, "That is an unequivocally false assertion. We had not received any request for additional security measures that were rebuffed." But 5 days later, the Washington Post said this: top officials repeatedly rejected requests from Donald Trump's security.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Congress Every Day. Today we're diving into some explosive questioning from Congressman Jim Jordan of the House Judiciary Committee. He took the Secret Service director to task over discrepancies about security for former President Trump. The back and forth was intense, and the stakes were high. Stick around as I break it all down in today's video. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future deep dives into political drama. Let's get into it. Jim Jordan, who chairs the House Judiciary Committee, wasted no time. He questioned the director about conflicting statements from the Secret Service regarding Trump's security. Jordan's main point? The statements didn't add up.
Security detail for more personnel. The next day, the New York Times said this: Mr. Guglielmi acknowledged that the Secret Service had turned down some requests for additional federal security assets for Mr. Trump's detail. So which is it? Because both statements can't be true. Were you guessing or lying when you said you didn't turn down requests from President Trump's detail?
Neither, sir, and I appreciate the question.
Well, what were you doing? Because those statements don't jive.
So what I can tell you is that for the event in Butler, there were no requests that were denied. As far as requests...
Well, maybe they got tired of asking. Maybe you turned them down so darn much, they said, not worth asking. How many times did you turn them down ahead of that?
I think that it is important to distinguish between
and he was there to get to the truth. He asked whether the director had been guessing or lying when initially denying that any security requests for Trump were turned down. It's clear Jordan wasn't holding back. The real drama unfolds when we look at how the Secret Service tried to defend their position. Initially, the Secret Service spokesperson said that no requests for additional security for Trump had been rejected. However, just days later, both the Washington Post and the New York Times reported that requests for more security were turned down by top officials. So, which one was it? Jordan pressed the director hard on this. Was the Secret Service really being honest, or was there something being covered up?
What some people may view as a denial of an asset or a request.
Well, is Mr. Guglielmi your spokesperson? He said he acknowledged the Secret Service had turned down some requests. I'm asking how many?
A denial of a request does not equal a vulnerability.
Well, tell me what it is.
There are a number of ways that threats and risks can be mitigated with a number of different assets, whether that be through personnel, whether that be through technology, or other resources.
Well, tell the committee which it was. They asked for additional help in some form or another. You told them no. How many times did you tell them no, and what did you tell them no to?
The director couldn't offer a satisfying answer to these conflicting reports, and that's where the tension built. According to him, the Secret Service didn't deny requests, but rather, they found alternative ways to address security concerns. The director tried to assure the committee that they were still taking precautions, just not in the traditional sense of adding more personnel. Jordan wanted specifics. How many times did Trump's security detail ask for additional help, and how many times were those requests denied? Did the Secret Service cut corners when it came to protecting one of the most important figures in the world?
Again, I cannot speak to specific incidents, but I can tell you in general terms, the Secret Service is judicious with their resources based on...
What does some requests mean? How many times? Some indicate requests is plural. So more than once they asked for additional help and you turned them down. What did they ask for and how many times did you turn them down? Pretty basic questions.
So again, without having all of the details in front of me, sir, what I can tell you is that there are times...
You didn't get briefed on how many times you turned down the Trump detail when they asked for additional help?
I'm sorry.
You didn't get briefed on that before you came to this hearing, knowing you were going to get asked that question?
What I can tell you is that in generic terms, when details make a request, there are times that there are alternate ways to cover off on that threat or that risk.
But that's not what he said. He said they were denied certain requests, some requests. This is your spokesperson, not me talking. This is the Secret Service talking. And what a change from absolutely false, unequivocally false to, oh, by the way, there were some times where we didn't give them what they wanted. That's a huge change in 5 days. And the fact that you can't answer how many times you did that, that's pretty darn frustrating, not just for me, but for the country.
Jordan's frustration was palpable. The director couldn't provide any clarity on how many times Trump's detail had been turned down. He couldn't even give specifics about the nature of those requests. Jordan called out the lack of transparency, even asking whether the director had been briefed on the situation before coming to the hearing. This is the kind of thing that makes you question whether everything is being laid out for the American people to see. The director did confirm that there were 2 investigations underway, one from the Inspector General and another internal mission assurance investigation within the Secret Service. Jordan,
I hear your frustration.
Let me ask you this. Were any of those requests denied to President Trump's detail after you knew about the Iranian threat?
What I can tell you, again, I don't know the specifics, is that there are times when we can fill a request. It doesn't necessarily have to be with a Secret Service asset or resource. We can fill that request with locally available assets.
You spoke to anyone at the White House since July 13th?
Yes, I have.
Who'd you talk to?
I have briefed the president and the vice president.
Talked to the First Lady?
No, I have not.
Talked to the White House staff? Anyone in the White House communications?
No, I have not.
Have you talked to the counter sniper who took the shot that took out the bad guy?
Yes, I have.
And can you tell us about that conversation?
I would not want to reveal conversations that I've had with my employees.
But that's exactly the kind of information the American people want to know. American people who pay your salary.
I understand. This is an ongoing investigation, and
Who's all doing the investigating at Secret Service? I know the Inspector General, but is there also an internal investigation in addition to the Inspector General?
Jordan accused the Secret Service of cutting corners and failing to properly protect Trump, especially after the Iranian threat became public knowledge. He pointed out that the director had received a raise but still couldn't provide adequate protection for the former president. Jordan implied that the Secret Service was more focused on efficiency than on ensuring the security of someone as high-profile as Trump. Was the Secret Service covering up the truth, or are there valid reasons for the confusion? Jim Jordan's questions definitely raised a lot of eyebrows, and it seems like the investigation is just getting started. We'll keep an eye on how this story develops. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more insights into the political drama unfolding in Washington, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.